cheated on you?
Yeah.
Well, with how cute you look,
Oh, thanks.
the only way that I would possibly go with another girl where you're concerned is if she was joining in with us.
What about if she was a 23-year-old man?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The video you have just seen is a clip from a phone call I had with Michael briefly after these conversations finished. If you haven't checked out part 1 to this video, please check it out. It's the last video I uploaded, and this will make a lot more sense to you as I'm starting off at where I ended the last video. So the last video ended when I told my mum that I was speaking to somebody, and Michael kind of pooed his pants a little bit. She asked how old. Shall I tell her? Not a great idea. Why did you tell her? Why wouldn't it be a great idea? He said it's fine if we only meet next month. True, but I thought that we would be secret. I won't tell her about you if you don't want me to. What are you looking for with me? Are you just after sex, or do you want more than sex? I don't know yet. I'd love to be able to finish inside of you at some point, if you see my point. What point? Well, if I do, then I've claimed you. Claimed? Yes, you'll be mine. Claimed. Like I'm some sort of stray lost puppy. What a weird way to put it. Yes, you'll be mine. I sent a video yesterday. Do I get one back? Well, you will see me soon. Is that a no? And as you mentioned saying about me to your mum, it spooks me a bit. Why? I didn't say who I was speaking to. You just said I was speaking to a guy called Michael. Because it did. Because Michael knows full well what he is doing is wrong, what he's doing is illegal, and what he's doing will put him behind bars, for no better terminology. If what he was doing was okay, he wouldn't be worried about this, would he? If he didn't understand, if he wanted to plead to the case that he didn't know, then why would he be worried about it? He clearly knows that his actions are wrong, and that's why he's scared. This is an admission of guilt. This here is an admission of guilt. He knows what he's doing is wrong, and yet he's doing it anyway. Your age. You seem to be okay with it. I don't see the issue. I won't mention you to anyone. Is that better? Yes, babe. Okay, do I get a video from you then? Chatting a bit as I have a friend here. Okay, see ya. Hi. Hey, do you want to talk now, babe? Sure. Calls me 5 times. I thought you meant text. Sorry, I'm doing homework. Because I'm 15, right? Give me a little. Oh, okay, babe. Are you nervous about sex? What do you mean? Well, you seem cautious and saying about being small, etc. How tall are you? Well, a little with someone new and 5'4", I think. You trust me though? In what way? To be gentle with you as we start sex. To help you enjoy sex even more. I hope so. I'm not going to say any of this out loud. If you want to see it and read it for yourself, just pause right here. Thanks, hon. How long was your ex dating you before he f***ed you? Not long, I don't think. He got me drunk. And how soon did he start playing with you before he f***ed you? And unfortunately, I'm going to do the same thing with this because YouTube don't like me saying this, and because they don't like me saying this, they demonetize my channel and shadow ban the videos, which stops them getting views, which stops people figuring out who this man is, which then ultimately stops me being able to tell the police exactly who this person is. If not, the gist of it is basically saying, like, when did you have it? Would you do it in a car? And yeah, that basically sums it up. Is there not? It depends how big the car. As you're small, my car back seat could easily have you in it. Did he f*** you on the first date? What car do you have? And no, probs second or third. A VW Golf. Missed call again. That's too small, I think. No, I f***ed a girl in the back before, taller than you. I bet she was older and more experienced though. You'll love it. So at this point, Michael called me, and I quickly grabbed Abby, put her on the phone, didn't have time to prep her with, you know, who this girl is and, you know, how many relationships you've had, blah, 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 because if he asked the questions, she has to answer directly. I didn't have time to prep her, which made it more stressful. And yeah, this is the phone call that I had with Michael.
Hey.
I'm alright.
Good. What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in bed watching TV.
Oh, what are you watching?
I've got an old DVD on Castle. It's an American TV detective series.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
I like your voice.
Thank you.
sounds very sexy.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm a bit shy, so that's why I'm really quiet.
You don't sound shy.
No, I am, yeah. I am really shy even though I don't sound it.
You sound quite fun.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad I give off that impression.
You look gorgeous, you sound fun.
Do you want a video call?
I would do, but I'm laying in bed here at the moment and then,
Okay, what about tomorrow?
yeah, can do.
Okay, that's
What, you in your towel?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so tempting, but I'm just sort of laying in a messy bed.
That's alright.
So, you're a bit nervous about sex, eh?
Yeah.
What's your main nervousness about it?
I don't really know, obviously, because I've not really done it before, so I don't know.
Well, you've had sex.
Yeah, but not many times, so it's just a bit.
What happened to your last relationship then?
Oh, we broke up. It was quite sad. He cheated on me.
He cheated on you?
Yeah.
Well, with how cute you look,
Oh, thanks.
the only way that I would possibly go with another girl where you're concerned is if she was joining in with us.
What about if she was a 23-year-old man?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you've been speaking to me the entire time, mate. I have every single screenshot. Oh, well, that lasted long.
So after he hangs up on this phone call, I try and call him a couple of times on WhatsApp, and then he blocks my number because he knows at that point he'd done fucked up. So I send him a text from the same number as my WhatsApp number, and I say to him, look, I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell me why this has happened. Give me a reason to not go to the police. Be that somebody else was on my phone, it was hacked. You know, give me a reason. Like, I know that this guy was messaging the whole time because he was sending selfies. He was always messaging the same stuff. It was consistent throughout. In fact, the conversation from the phone call was similar to what he was texting. It was the same person throughout. There's a load of evidence there to prove that. So I said to him, look, if this wasn't you, tell me. Tell me you were hacked. Explain to me why this happened. What is your excuse for trying to have sex with a 15-year-old girl? What is your excuse for being arguably the most sexually deviant predator that I have ever messaged in the 7-8 months of doing this?
Hello.
What do you want?
I don't want anything, mate. I'm just trying to work out why you think it's appropriate to message a 15-year-old girl, asking her how many times she's had sex, if she's had anal, organising meetings for when she's 16. This is technically child grooming, which is completely illegal, as you're fully aware. Regardless of if you were willing to have sex with her when she hit 16, the sexual conversations carried over from 15 years old, which is illegal. So I just want to know what's going through your mind, why you think that's appropriate, and are you going to go seek proper counselling to prevent this happening in the future?
What's happening?
What do you mean what's
At
happening?
this moment in time, yeah, when COVID's over, I'm going to seek counselling. I don't know what's going on at the moment.
It's not a good enough excuse to say I don't know what's going on at the moment. What, you're in your mid-50s, aren't you?
Basically, all I know is I was fucked up by my last girlfriend and I don't know where the hell I am at.
Right, but having a bad relationship isn't a good excuse for child pedophilia, is it? It doesn't, plenty of people have...
I don't know where I'm at the moment.
Well,
I can't explain anything other than the fact I don't know where I'm at. I'm fucked up. Until I seek counselling, I don't know what it is.
Well, I would advise you strongly to go and seek counselling. I'm not sure, obviously, where that lays in the law. If you explain that you are, acting on your predatory nature, because you were engaging with sexual conversations with a 15-year-old. This is completely illegal, like, as you're aware. Like, this holds a sentence of, multiple years at a max sentence.
Right.
It's disgusting. If it wasn't me speaking to you, that would have been a 15-year-old girl. You could have ruined her entire life through your selfish decisions.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about it.
Well, hopefully you think about it from now on, mate.
Right.
Unfortunately, when you decided to, speak to a 15-year-old, for you, that is, you were speaking to me. Fortunately for the 15-year-olds out there that, are gullible enough to, and young enough and vulnerable enough to speak to older men like yourself and fall into these predatory traps, luckily, I was there instead of them.
Yeah.
I
Fair
don't.
point.
I don't understand. Like, I've been doing this for about a year now. I've had paedophiles convicted. I have some that I've sent to the police that are serving prison time. I'm going to file this with the police contacts that I have. They will have a look through it. It's up to them. I'm not a judge or a jury. I can't decide whether you deserve a sentence or not. But
Right.
from my experience, you personally, to me, have been the most sexually explicit person I've ever spoken to.
Right.
Every single conversation from day one was sexual orientated. From the first second
Right.
you messaged me in the day, it was about sex. The last message you
Right.
sent me before I went to sleep was about sex. There was nothing in between. You asked me, have I had anal sex? To a 15-year-old.
Right.
You asked me to save anal sex for you. I told you I was nervous. You said, oh, I'll go hard. I said, well, if I bleed? You said, no, you will come. Why do you think this is appropriate to send to a 15-year-old girl?
You now capture me at the point that I'm now half asleep. I can't respond properly.
Well, have a good night's sleep, mate. I appreciate your call. Unfortunately, all you've done is not much. You haven't explained yourself here. You just said you're half asleep. I've given you the opportunity to try and explain why you're doing this, and you haven't. It was good to have a chat. Hopefully you stop doing this in the future. There will be a YouTube video out a few weeks about this.
So you've asked me to phone you up to explain myself, right? And now I'm carrying out what you threatened to do if I wouldn't speak to you.
It wasn't actually a threat if you read the text message.
No, it was a threat of you're going to do it unless I spoke to you.
Do you want me to read the text message out to you? No, he doesn't want me to read the text message out to you.
Explain yourself.
And you haven't explained yourself. You just said that you're tired and you can't
explain.
explain.
I'm telling you that I'm half aslead, right?
Yeah, so that's not an explanation, is it?
I've been messed up. Hang on.
Right.
Are you listening?
No, like, you're not in a position of, like, any sort of moral high ground here. You can't have a go at me.
No. I've read your
can't.
text.
No, you can't raise your voice to me. I know exactly what I sent.
I've just read your text.
And does it threaten
And
you
you're
with anything?
asking me, so I'm just saying to you, right, I've just read your text, which I'm having problems focusing on, but from what I've just read of the last bit, unless I explain myself to you.
Well, unless you give a good
I've
explanation,
explained to
as
you
in...
that something's happened.
So what that means...
That's messed me up.
What that means...
And I'm going to sort out about it.
Well, that's not a good enough explanation. A good enough explanation for me is, it wasn't me messaging. That's a good enough explanation. Right? If it wasn't you messaging, then obviously I wouldn't upload the video. You've admitted that you were speaking to a 15-year-old girl. You've admitted... Right, so was it you that was messaging?
Right?
Right, so what... Right. Very simply, was it you that was messaging me?
Part of this has been hijacked texts.
What do you mean part of this has been hijacked texts?
Because I had my Tinder profile hijacked.
You had your Tinder profile hijacked?
Yes.
Right. Is that the only thing that you've had compromised?
No, I've had my phone compromised.
Okay, between what dates and what times?
my phone was compromised, or my texts were compromised, right? Somewhere between.
I know you're looking at the text chat now to see when it started.
No, I'm not. I'm on the phone to you.
Right.
The phone has been compromised. It was compromised, right? Somewhere in last month. It was somewhere in October. It was compromised. Because suddenly my Tinder went completely berserk on me.
Right.
And I contacted them about it.
Okay, so if you remember our Tinder messages, which I have as well, because again, it was me that was messaging the entire time. The entire Tinder conversation.
I had messages.
I let you speak.
Hang on a second.
I let you speak.
I had messages saying about someone, and then there was something about 15, and then something missing, and then something else, and then something missing. So I haven't had the whole thing of it. And now, all of those details have just disappeared.
Right, so...
The only thing I've got left is your threatening text, and that's it.
I'm sorry, mate, but I'm sure you can see that this is not a compelling way to try and change my mind. I'm sure you can see
No, I'm just saying to you that my
so what you're
phone
saying is
has been compromised since about... And now I have to go to bed because I am going to be working shortly.
Right, so now I've let you speak, you're going to let me speak?
Right.
Yeah? Okay. If your phone was compromised last month, that does not excuse the conversations that were going on this month. It's the 22nd.
No, I said from last month.
Okay, so have you had your phone all day today?
I've had my phone, but I haven't had... it totally in my hands all day today. I mean, it's been somewhere.
Right, okay. How about this then? Let's flip this round.
What I'm saying is that there's been some sort of hack.
There's been a hack.
Because I've not received everything and I've not sent out everything on my phone. You look gorgeous, you sound fun.
Right, okay, so what about your voice that you're speaking with now, that I've recorded, which asked who you thought was a 15-year-old girl, because I mentioned that to you, why she's nervous about having sex, because that was one of the conversations that you're trying to say was hacked, but you knew about that conversation as you re-emerged it. You said to, my prop in this video, why are you nervous about having sex? You look and sound sexy. So you knew this was the same girl. Like, what you're saying here is quite frankly a lie, mate.
No, there was look, I'm half asleep at the moment. I'm trying to explain myself. Obviously, I can't explain myself properly.
What you've explained...
You're not gonna take it anyway. You're just gonna put it on YouTube, right? And you decide to screw me over. And that's all
I haven't decided to screw you over, mate. You're trying to screw a 15-year-old girl.
You've decided to screw me over.
Right,
that's
so
all there is to
please
it.
explain to me how I decided to screw you over.
My phone's been hacked, and that's all I know.
So your phone's been hacked, but it was you that was speaking.
The whole conversation.
Was it you that was speaking on that first phone call that you hung up on? Or was that a hacked person? Was that someone else?
What?
The call that we had that you hung up on, right, where you said to the girl, why are you nervous about having sex with me, which was a conversation that you'd had with me today.
Right.
Right. Was that somebody else?
Look, I'm now about to go to bed.
Right, so what's happened? Oh, it's hilarious. Honestly. Why lie about something that's so blatantly... When I say to somebody, look, I'm going to give you the opportunity to explain yourself. Before I put this online, I'm going to give you the opportunity to explain yourself. If you give a good enough explanation, I won't put it online. Look, if you say to me, you were molested at a young age and you're really fucked up and you're going through counselling, you're trying to sort it all out and blah, 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 my mental health is really bad, etc., etc., sure, maybe I'll fucking think about it. But for you to lie, for you to just blatantly lie and say that your phone was hijacked after I mentioned the possibility of it's not you messaging, he then went with that. Of course he fucking did. And then there's Freudian slips. When he's on the phone call with his same voice, he says to me, from the conversation earlier, which you would have seen by this point, he says to me, why are you nervous about having sex? You look and sound sexy. That sounds like a man that was texting me throughout, doesn't it? You look and sound sexy. He knows what I look like. I told him I was 15 multiple times. You'd have seen that as well. Why are you nervous about having sex? That was a conversation we had this morning. Freudian slip. Crazy.